All right. Well, since I'm the only one awake during this news, I figured it'd be funny to put it on YouTube first before all the big channels can go ahead and make videos that send you to story blocks in the middle. And the subject of the video is that Nikon bought Red, or is buying Red. And Nikon announced it. Here's the press release. I saw a lot of speculation in the past couple hours about if this has anything to do with the patent. If you don't know, Red sort of patented the idea of lossless compression, which is kind of silly, in my view. And Nikon took him to court over it and lost, I believe. So it is interesting that Nikon is buying them. I think it's less that and more that Nikon does have the kind of money to buy a company like Red, which is actually smaller than you'd think, Red, and is just looking to compete against Canon and Sony because Nikon has great cameras. I built my career on a Nikon D90 in photo. And even, for as much as the creator using the FX3 made news, Gareth Edwards actually shot the test video to sell the film on a Nikon Z6, I want to say. And some of that footage is in the movie. So, I'm sure you didn't notice. So yeah, Nikon's buying Red. I think that is going to be a net positive because I'm going to imagine that Nikon will slow the development down a little bit. One thing that people complained about with Red is that you'd buy one of their cameras and then the next year it's rendered obsolete, which I do think is a little silly because your camera's not obsolete if a new one comes out. You're just upset. But they'll probably do that because Nikon doesn't release new cameras very often. They actually are quite good at making what, like the D850. I don't know when that came out, like 2016 maybe. That thing is incredible, still amazing. D700, D750, all still incredible DSLRs for photo. Obviously, I haven't really researched the video side. I will say this is kind of a full circle moment for Nikon because Nikon was actually the first company to put video on a DSLR with my D90. Actually, this guy right here. Nikon D90, baby. This camera rocks. Very happy I kept it. I gave it to someone to start their career on, and then when they bought a new camera, I actually asked for it back, which is kind of bad form, but I'm glad I did. But yeah, so Nikon was the first company to put video in a DSLR, and when I was in college, this must have been 2008, 9, maybe 9. I got this because the 5D had already come out, 5D Mark II, but this shot 24p. And at the time, that was not common in any camera. My XL2, my Canon XL2, which I also still have, did shoot 24p. And at the time, that was kind of the secret to filmic video on top of shallow depth of field. It was only 720p, but that was fine for me at the time. And it was very jello-y, which did suck. Canon, the 5D was full frame with line skipping and 30 frames per second, which is not filmic. And you had to do all this other stuff. Then they came out with updates, and now Canon is who they are, shooting on a Canon. I own a C70 and a C500, obviously. I like Canon cameras. But as a OG Nikon fan, I'm very excited to see what they do with the Red. Are they just going to let them make stuff? Are they going to let them stay, what, take some money, do what you got to do? Or are they going to kind of fold it into some of their own products, some of the technology? Are they going to axe them completely and make Nikon? That would be pretty insane. I doubt they're going to get rid of the brand recognition that Red has. But I probably just see, if I'm to guess, since this is a speculative video, I do see them slowing things down a little bit, creating one camera that I think they're going to try to make Red more like Alexa in that, they only need like one camera that really hits, and maybe like a couple different, prosumer, professional, I guess more like Sony. But yeah, let me solidify those thoughts. One, I don't think it's for the patent. Two, I think this is a net benefit for Red as a company because they were kind of what it felt like. I don't know what their books look like, but it felt like they were kind of running thin margins. Two or three, I think it'll create more goodwill within their ownership base. I don't know if it'll have any effect on pricing. I think the prices of those cameras are pretty fair nowadays. When Red came out with the Red 1, the price was high, but it was lower than any other cinema camera in the world. So even though Reds are expensive, I don't think they're outlandishly expensive. Granted, more modern cameras are cheaper and can achieve much the same thing, but that is, a preference. And yeah, I'm excited for this exchange to happen. I'm interested to see where it goes. And again, I think it'll be a net positive. I don't think you're going to see a lot of videos that come out after mine that are like, this changes everything. I don't think it changes everything. I think it changes one thing. But I think it won't be as earth-shattering as we think, but it will be interesting. So anyway, I'm the first one to put a video on YouTube, probably. Good for me. Okay, bye. Ludwig says bye. So like and subscribe.